explained to you yesterday, but now I have a physical here, an actual photo that you can see. So this is Einstein's head. Now in general relativity, you have a planet in the spot where his head is, and planets warp space-time. That's what creates the illusion of gravity when things are falling towards a planet. If you don't put a satellite in the exact right orbit, it falls toward the planet. Why? Because of warp space. It has to be traveling at a specific speed and a specific distance from the planet to obtain a viable orbit. Well, when you're trying to operate in the law of attraction, draw things into your life, you have to put your consciousness in the spot of the planet. So I just put his face there, but it's really his consciousness, or our consciousness will go in that spot. Your consciousness has the capability of warping space-time. It bends it. You bend the matrix to your will. And things will fall towards you, good and bad, based on your understanding of how this matrix operates and how it works. So if your head is in there and you're not operating properly in the law of attraction, don't even know it exists, you're getting bombarded by all kind of things falling into your life consistently on a consistent basis. But when you're operating the law of attraction and you understand that you have to quantum entangle with the universal consciousness, which we talked about yesterday, quantum entangle. Remember parabolic down conversion? I know you all got it. Synchronizing the frequency in your mind with the frequency of the universe at a high power frequency, not begging and pleading and hoping and, oh my God, please help me, but the position of power, commanding things into reality, into existence. Unconditional love for others. When you're operating in that frequency, in that mindset, then you're going to synchronize with the Christ consciousness. Not Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ was in his name. Christ, the Christ, or Christ consciousness is something real. It's something that actually mitigates the connection between you and the universal consciousness. It's like a conduit. It's a certain level of frequency that you can attach your mind frequency to, and then that frequency transmits or entangles you with the universal consciousness. And what happens? You see the law of attraction starts falling directly towards you. Yeah, so this is how the law of attraction works. And, so it's all part of the manifestation process. And when you're trying to manifest things into your life, like I said yesterday, if you forgot, operate from a powerful mindset. It's one of the Hermetic principles, power. And not to put anybody down, I don't want to offend anybody, but if you're getting on your hands and knees to pray, the only thing you're going to get is some calluses on your knees. I'm just telling you. Nothing wrong with praying. I believe in prayer. How are you praying? Remember what I told you about the Great Braden incident? The prayer that they were doing for that sick woman was, it is already done. It is done. It is done. Over and over again. In Chinese, wuksha, wuksha. It is done. That's the prayer. The prayer is understanding the ending before it even begins. That is your prayer. Your prayer is not, oh, please, help, help, help. That's a low frequency vibration. It does not get answered and picked up by this system whatsoever. It's power and commanding. Like I said before, whenever I travel, I'm leaving out here tomorrow night. When I travel tomorrow, I sit on that plane, I put that seatbelt on, I command my safe arrival at my destination. I command it. I don't go, please help me get there and get, no, waste. And then you got to know what you're praying for. Don't put out a plate of soul food that's going to give you diabetes, high blood pressure, and cancer, and then pray over it. Why? You think that's going to reverse the negative effects of that food? No, you got to know what to pray for too. You could be wasting energy. And the universe hates waste. It hates waste. Don't waste your energy on stuff that don't make any sense. Okay, don't try to fool yourself into thinking that praying over this food is going to heal your body when it's a bunch of garbage. You know what's healthy and what's not healthy to eat. I went to a funeral, and the little woman that died of a massive stroke, okay, and it was all because of the food that she was eating. And the people that stood up to testify about how they knew her and everything else, the only thing they talked about the whole time was the food that they ate, that she brought to work, which was the same food that gave her the stroke. See the disconnect? And I'm sitting there going, I just want to jump up and say something, but I don't want to be disrespectful. So I just sat there and just kept my cool. And then at the end of the wake, what did they do? They served the same slop to everybody. And I'm like, man, I got to get out of here. They're all going to be in that same box right next to her. You see, we're disconnected. We're disconnected. We fool ourselves and trick ourselves in all these weird rituals and things. I mean, I'm dead serious too with it. I mean, I just believe the power. And does everything 1,000% work out in my favor every single time? Maybe not, no. But I tell you, I'm not going to complain about my life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I died right this exact second, I did 10,000 times more things than the average person's already done in this dimensional plane, in this density. I'm satisfied. I'm happy. If I had to go right this second, I'd be like, okay, let's move on to the next phase. I did it, man. I did it, and I came from underneath the gutter to do it. Underneath the gutter. So that's why when people tell me that they can't do this and they can't do that, I just be like, man, erase that T, please. Erase that T. You can. Impossible, no, it's I'm possible. See? You see my mind, the way it thinks? It doesn't see impossible. It sees I'm possible. And I think that's the way, the mindset that we have to keep instilling into people so they can reach for greatness. I know people got to go soon and start getting to airports and all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to wrap it up here.
Billy, tell them about, real quick, how you bend the matrix every morning to get your day started.
Oh yeah, well this is the bend the matrix. This is him right here. Here goes Neo. Now you see this in the movie and you go, that was pretty cool. But that's true reality in my life. That's where I feel. I feel like in the morning when I wake up and I get to my meditative state and I do everything, my rituals that I do to get myself ready for the day and recharge for the day. A lot of times even with some sun gazing is really important. Now obviously I haven't been able to do it here, but I typically try to get that sun gazing in early morning or either late evening and get the energy inside of me. But when I get to that meditative state, when I get into that mindset, when I understand the day that's ahead of me, I literally feel like I'm warping space-time around my body. I literally feel it. I actually feel a tunnel opening up sometimes, and I'll even step through it. And it may sound crazy to some people. It may sound like, wow, this is way out there. But just try it. Just try it. Try to understand the true power that's in you. Try to understand that when you feel that matrix bending and warping, you're creating this warped space that then bends everything to your will. And I literally feel that everything is bending to my will and going to work out for me. No matter what thing blindsided, everybody gets blindsided. I always feel like in the end, it's always going to work out. I never feel the pressure and the stress and the worry and the pain and the heartache and the, oh my God, what's going to happen? If a situation arises, my heart rate doesn't even change. I don't even change. I don't start sweating and get crazy and worried and all this. And I just be like, okay, let's figure out what's going to happen. Let's just see. I may be sitting laughing and saying, this is crazy, or this is this, or this is that. But overall, internally, I feel like it's all going to work out. And sometimes I will do a matrix flex, just for the heck of it. Nothing even has to be going on sometimes. You got to exercise that power. It's just like going to the gym and lifting weights. If you stop going to the gym, you're not going to be able to bench press the same amount of weight as you were 2 months ago. You got to consistently do it. You got to consistently exercise your mind, exercise the power that's inside of you. Try to utilize it as much as you can. See things moving out of your way. See mountains being able to be climbed, and you got the peak, standing with your hand at the top going, yes, I made it, I did it. All those things are just part of the manifestation process. And I literally do it on a daily basis. I feel like, nothing can really stop me. I say it all the time on my Instagram Live. I feel like nothing can stop me. And with that mindset, I really do seriously mean that. It doesn't mean that I won't ever be stopped, but I mean, in my mind, nothing can stop. And if I'm stopped in this avatar body for any particular reason, that means that I'm ready to transcend this avatar dimension into another and do something else for somebody else in another place. It just means that my mission is complete. And that's the mindset that I'm operating. I'm not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of all these. That stuff, fear to me is, like I said in the movie, it's a choice. It's a choice. Fear is the biggest thing that will destroy you. It will eat you up alive. When you let fear, that's why I was telling you guys yesterday, don't be beating and yelling and berating your kids and cursing them out and calling them all kind of names. Because then you're putting fear in them. I want my kids to fear me. People say, I fear God. There's no such thing as fear and love in the same sense. It doesn't exist. Most people are only going to church because of self-preservation. In their mind, they believe that by doing these steps, they're going to be raptured up into a place that's going to give them eternal life in this heavenly kingdom. They're not doing it because they love particularly. They're doing it mostly because they're afraid of going to the lake of fire. That's the fear part. If I don't have this fear, if I don't do this, if I don't do that, and if I do this just enough times the right way, I might make it to this magical place. So I've got to self-preserve my soul. So I'm going to go through these rituals and go through these steps for the rest of my life, no matter what it means. I'm going to have blind faith. I'm not going to look up anything. I'm not going to research or study anything. I'm just going to hope that I did just enough to make it there. You see? That's not love. That's self-preservation. There's no such thing as fearing an entity and loving it at the same time. Those two things don't go in the same sentence. They don't mix. It's like trying to mix oil and water. It can't happen. It just won't work. You see? So when you understand that, you begin to go, oh wow, that is This is all about fear. This is really not about love. You have to get in the mindset of understanding you have the direct connection with the divine God consciousness, the divine energy, the universe, whatever you want to call it. You have a direct connection. You don't need a go-to person to go through deity. You don't need a structural building to go to get all this, to make it happen. You go through it directly from, like I had on the previous screen, from your mind to the divine, straight ahead, period. You don't need to go through a person. You don't need to be on your knees begging and pleading, hoping and wishing. You need to be meeting force with force. The universe only understands high power, high energy, high frequencies. So when you come in with that low frequency, it's like going out into cyberspace. It didn't even register. It didn't register. You gotta go in with understanding power. I command this. This is going to happen. Like I said today, when I actually caught myself talking about Egypt, and I reversed it right away. No, you're going to Egypt. And then a few minutes later, what? We found out you guys are going to get a free trip to where? Egypt. You can't even plan this stuff. But that's literally how I live on a day-to-day basis. You know, people be asking, what time are you speaking at this so-and-so event, whatever? And I'd be like, I don't even know. I just show up to places. And I check everything when I get there, and I just expect everything to work out. That's what I do, you know. So it's not everybody can do that, but I mean, I just do that, you know. And I'm just so excited, man, to even be living in this time frame, because we're living in such a blessed time to be able to even get information and knowledge like this. You know, thoughts create reality, which is what we were talking about. And I want to get into this right here, because this is one of the biggest things that people need to understand. Some of you have seen this before, but people need to understand what, you know, they are in the physical realm, how this avatar body works. Now this is an allegory. But you see up here, this is you, starting out spermatozoa, every single one of us, okay? Obviously we've got a battle. You start out with a fight right away. You're already in competition from the moment that now they found out that spermatozoa coming out of the male testes, they communicate with each other. Did you know that? Yeah, they communicate. They actually have communication. They can actually talk to each other through chemical interactions. And they battle for the one who's going to be able to obviously fertilize the egg. Then you see here a brain and a brain stem and a skeleton. You see that? Now, obviously, that's not what a sperm turns into. It's a representation, but you see the same shape and form, and then you see the same shape and form here. All this stuff on the exterior, the meat part, is all there to keep this and this alive. Okay?
Hi, I'm Billy Carson, researcher, speaker, and best-selling author of the Compendium of the Emerald Tablets and Woke Doesn't Mean Broke. I'm inviting you to join me on ForbiddenKnowledge.tv to enjoy hours of great programming, learn the secrets of ancient Egypt, unexplained structures on the moon and Mars, financial literacy, holistic and healthy lifestyles. Go now to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv and get 3 days free. While there, you can enter to win a Rolls Royce. That's ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. You are watching Forbidden Knowledge TV. Hi, my name is Billy Carson, and I'm the president of Forbidden Knowledge. We have an amazing investment opportunity here for anyone who wants to buy shares in Forbidden Knowledge. The money that's generated from this crowdfunding platform is going to be used to bring on a new content acquisitions partner. We're going to hire a new in-house graphics designer, a social media manager, put together a customer service team and a customer service management program that will organize and satisfy all the different legs of Forbidden Knowledge Inc., as well as, and of course, make more improved high-quality streaming content for the Forbidden Knowledge TV platform, which right now is featured on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, iOS and Android apps, and also, of course, the web. The streaming platform is a year old right now and doing very, very well. And we're looking for your support where you can not only be a conscious customer, but also be a part owner in an amazing opportunity that includes streaming TV, book publishing, and e-commerce. Grow with us and earn with us. Forbidden Knowledge, Inc.